Who the hell got rid of this? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel via Glow. If you're new here, my name is Gloria and I'm a full-time reseller on multiple different apps, and I resell clothes and shit. So in today's video, I have a good old ship with me, and y'all, I am finally prepared. So I do have multiple sales across 4 different platforms. I did make a gross profit of $857.37 with a net profit of $702.59, and then I did make a total of 31 sales across 4 platforms. I did make 15 on eBay, 12 on Poshmark, 2 on Mercari, and 2 on Depop. Now I didn't run any sales on any platforms. These are organic, well, kind of sort of, because I do send out offers, so I guess technically that's not technically a sale, but y'all get the gist. Like, I do have a Poshmark bot that sends out a 20% off discount to anybody that likes anything. And then on eBay, y'all know I send out offers throughout the day. And then as far as Mercari, I don't really mess with it. Occasionally I'll go over there and send out offers, but for the most part, I just accept any offer that comes in. And then as far as Depop, these sales are organic sales. They send me an offer and I accepted it. So let's just jump right in. So first, we're gonna start off with the platform I sold the most on, which is eBay. So these are all of my eBay sales. This one is the most exciting, so we're going to start here first. The brand is called ℷ𝕃𝕊𝕋𝔽𝕆ℝ𝕃. Now, when I picked this up at the bins like a good 6 months ago, I had noticed that it was pretty heavy, and I noticed that it was in a really good condition, and I figured like, okay, this must be a pretty good brand, and it was. So I was really happy to come across it. And this one actually sold for my full asking price of $149.50. And it's a bustle. I don't really know what that is, but it's kind of like a, I'm gonna sit here and say I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna describe it. But it's kind of like a under the bust corset, if you will. And these things go for, y'all will not believe it, $300 brand new. So I was really happy when I found it. The data giveaway is that it was made in USA. So I feel like a lot of the times when you find those pieces that are made in USA, you already know that they're going to be really good performers. Anyways, I forgot to tell y'all how much the numbers were. If you're new here, I'd like to give you guys the breakdown of what it sold for, what I paid for it, and then how much I net after fees and cost of goods. So this one sold for $149.98. I did pay $1.15 for it, and I made a profit of $130 after fees and cost of goods, which is not that bad. They paid $140 and I didn't even wrap it. Lord Jesus. I feel like my ship with me videos are not doing how they used to do for me. Like, they used to be so fun to film and show you guys what I sold, and now they're just like a complete inconvenience. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this out. I'm actually gonna wrap it because I think that's just a nice thing to do. I'm actually pretty disappointed that I did not say that I wanted to use priority box or something like that, so then that way it can be even more protected, because this is definitely not good enough. But since it's not gonna break or anything, I should be fine. I just felt like presentation does matter, especially when you're spending $150 on something. So that's why I had to open it back up. Now, unfortunately, we still have to use the same one. For some reason, y'all, I got this tape. Now, I typically get like the Walmart branded tape, and it was perfect. However, this tape, I think it's Scotch tape. It is the worst. It never stays like closed, and I hate it so much. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of these priority stickers to try to cover it up. I'm so happy I grabbed these, because this is definitely gonna help out the situation. There we go. Perfect. It looks so much better. All right, moving on. The next one is a Lacoste top. This is a menswear item, and this one sold. So they sent me a message, and they were like $20 with a question mark, and then they said now. So I thought it was funny only because I'm assuming that it was like a language barrier there, so that's the only reason why I didn't take offense to it. And I'll be honest with y'all, I went on and I dropped the price to $20, and then they purchased it. Definitely a language barrier. I can see the name, which it worked out because I was happy to get this item out. So the cost is not really a brand that I would price too high, depending on the style. If it's like preppy and it's got like maybe a really good print or a good fabric, then maybe you could price it up. But for the most part, that was a very simple piece, so I thought that, you know, $25 was a decent price point, but $20 was okay as well. As y'all know, I'm a volume seller, and I actually like to flip items for $20 or more, because in my business model, I put $1 in, and after everything is said and done, I'm content with the $15 net profit. So anyways, this one sold for $20, and I did pay $1.51 for it, and I made a profit of $15.91 after fees and cost of goods. So that was a pretty good one. This one is actually a Free People cardigan. Now, I had recently picked this up, so this sold fairly quickly, and I was really happy that it did sell as quickly as it did. I try to make sure I use the right keywords to tie in the right buyer, because boho doesn't always do the trick. So this one actually sold for my full asking price of $19.99. I did pay $1.30 for it, and I made a profit of $16.46 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so these were actually some linen pants, and they were like elastic waist, wide leg style. So I thought, hey, let's go ahead and pick these up. Now, they are white, and white at the bins is pretty scary. However, I looked them over and they were in excellent condition, so I decided to go ahead and take them home. And these actually perform well. I did price them at $29.99, and they actually sold for my full asking price of $29.99. I did pay $1.32 for it, and I made a profit of $24.44 after fees and cost of goods. Honestly, I would definitely say pick up this brand. If you see it, especially if it's in good condition and it's a great style. You already know wide leg flare is really in, so I feel like just that alone helped sell it, and the fact it was linen, so you know, all those together, we got the sale. All right, so this is actually a return from Depop. A few vlogs ago, I talked about a buyer that I'm assuming they either put the wrong address or something like that, but I eventually listed it again, and I went on and saw all the attention that it got on Depop, and it eventually sold for $29.99. Unfortunately, what ended up happening was somebody sent me a $28 offer on Depop. I accepted it because I thought, okay, I sold it initially for $25, so I'm making $3 more. We'd love to see it. However, I clearly didn't delist it from eBay, and I woke up in the middle of the night and somebody purchased it from me on eBay. Now, what I found very, very, very funny, when it sold on Depop, I remember getting a message on Depop, and they said, hey, do you have any more available? I really love this skirt. Their name was Hannah. So I ended up, you know, looking on eBay when the person purchased it, and I'm like, damn, I have to cancel it on Depop because I'm gonna get, you know, a strike on me if I cancel it on eBay. So I went on and canceled it on Depop, and I noticed that the person that purchased it on eBay had zero feedback, and their name was Hannah. So she went and looked for this skirt, and I know she know that I was the one that listed it because it's the same name, the same photos and everything. So that was pretty snaky of her, but it's mostly disappointing on me because I should have delisted it. And you already know I'm still in the process of getting a new platform. I just really wanted to cleanse and purge my inventory before I offloaded all of my items to a new cross-listed service. So that's my fault, but this won't be happening in the future. And I do feel bad for the person on Depop because they, you know, it was fair and square, but I forgot to delist it. And please do not recommend any cross-listing services. I actually know exactly which one I'm gonna go to. But anyways, this one sold for $29.99. Since this one sold previously, I don't have a cost of goods on here, but I did get it from the bin, so I know for a fact it had to have been $1 or so. But I did make a profit of $26.32 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so these are those steel pans that y'all saw in a haul. These sold really quickly as well, which we absolutely love. They sold through an offer to watchers, so throughout the day I will send out offers to anybody that has liked my items on eBay, just to try to capture the sale as quickly as possible. So I sent out a 15% off offer, and they accepted it. So this one did sell for $29.74. I did pay $1.30 for it, and I made a profit of $24.56 after fees and cost of goods. This is a kimono top. This is probably the most disappointing sale, I want to say. in this whole, you know, situation, just because I, for some reason, picked this up at a thrift store, which is crazy because this is definitely not a brand that I would pick up at a thrift store unless it's like $3. But yeah, so very disappointing. I think I was taking a chance on it because I had picked up a plus size of this brand and it actually sold for, I want to say like $25. So I was able to make a good profit on it. This one did not sell for $25, so I did make a good profit on it. But this one sold for $16.97. I did pay $6.90 for it at a thrift store, and I made a profit of $8.36 after fees and cost of goods. Now this is what you call a waste of time. All right, so this is a BCBG skirt. This one is actually new with tags, and I actually was happy that it finally sold because I've had this for at the very least about 8 months now. So the potential buyer messaged me and was like, hey, could you do 15? Now I had this one listed, I want to say at $19.99. And since I had it for so long, we are also getting out of, you know, summer season when it comes to the clothes. I just knew that it would be in my best interest to go ahead and drop the price so I can get this item out. And I did. So she purchased it immediately. And I noticed that she is overseas. So she, in her eyes, maybe got a good deal. I'm not sure. But I went on and let this one go for $15. And I did pay $1.21 for it. And I made a profit of $14.32 after fees and cost of goods. BCBG Generation is definitely not a brand on my radar. It's definitely style specific, but I know for a fact the main reason why I picked this one up, it was the fact that it was new tag, and that was the only reason why I grabbed it. All right, so this is actually an August Max like slinky skirt. I picked this up because it was giving very much so Travelers from Chico's, and Chico's at one point was just doing amazing for me. So every time I saw any type of slinky fabric, no matter what brand it was, I would definitely look into it. And since this was a maxi skirt, I thought that it would perform well. This one took forever to sell, and then it finally sold. So this one finally got out the door, and it didn't sell for much. It sold for $12.70. Looked like I dropped the price, and I sent out offers. So I don't think I'd pick it up again. I'll be completely honest with you. These are the type of sales that I want to phase out of my closet. I don't really want anything selling under, you know, $18, because then I won't meet my little, you know, goal of $15 net profit. But this one sold for $12.70. I did pay 95 cents for it, and I made a profit of $11.63 after fees and cost of goods. This is a brand called Philosophy. I actually just pulled this, so it's been sitting in my pile at my storage unit of items that need to be delisted, so then I can try to sell to a buy sell trade store or donate. But they purchased it, so we love that. I'm actually going to delist tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm supposed to be going to a buy sell trade store. So I'll finally be able to clean up my inventory and then work on the other side of my inventory, because I've cleansed all of my dresses, I've cleansed all of my tops, I've cleansed all of my sweaters, I've cleansed all of the jackets, I've cleansed all of the men's. So now I need to cleanse my skirts, my pants, my trousers, my pull-on pants, my swimwear, sleepwear, and just everything in the back. And then get rid of all of my shoes, get rid of all of the miscellaneous items that I've picked up, and then we'll finally be done. So it is a little bit of a task, but I think I am up for it, because just having a cleaner space before Q4 is very, very, very needed. All right, so this one actually sold for $19.98, which is my full asking price. I did pay $1.04 for it, and I made a profit of $16.86 after fees and cost of goods. This one was random. I actually looked into the you know, tag, because the tag was tacked on, and this is one of those brands where, you know, the tacked on tag will make you feel intrigued to look into it, and I did, and I'm glad I did, because this is a great brand. It's called 𝕊𝕃𝕃𝔸𝕃, I want to say, and I soon found out that it is like a sleepwear, loungewear brand, and unfortunately this one had a flaw on it, so I did have to drop the price, and I did not get what I could have potentially got for it had I had the bottoms and it was not flawed. But it looks like it was a repeat buyer that bought this, so we love you if you are watching. But this one sold for $18.67, and I did pay $1.11 for it at the Goodwill Outlet here in Dallas, Texas, and I made a profit of $15.46 after fees and cost of goods, which it did meet my metrics. But I feel like, you know, when I come across these type of new brands, I would like to get a little bit more money for them, you know. But that's okay. This is a 𝕊𝕄𝕄𝕇 dress. I actually picked this up at the bins a long time ago, like 6 months ago. And this one was also pulled from my inventory. However, I feel like I didn't meet the deadline of the dresses. So I want to say in May is when I cleansed my dresses. No, not in May, because I didn't move into the storage unit until June. So I guess sometime in July, I actually cleansed all of my dresses, and I just never got around to delisting them. So I feel like I, you know, lost the window of being able to sell it to a buy sell trade store, because as soon as I finished, you know, cleansing them and I still didn't delist them, I got a notification from Clothes Mentor that their dresses and summer items are 30% off. So I knew that they weren't going to be accepting any type of, you know, summer pieces. So I let that ship sail, and I just went on and donated all the other pieces that I planned on getting rid of, and then I just kept all the pieces that I was going to, you know, sell to them. But anyways, this one did sell for $29.72. I paid $1.01 for it, and I made a profit of $24.69 after fees and cost of goods. I think my only issue with 𝕊𝕄𝕄𝕇 is that their tops sell for me between $20 to $30. So I assumed the dress would go for about $35 and over, but that wasn't the case. So now I know moving forward I need to price it accordingly and not what I want it for. I had recently passed up a 𝕊𝕄𝕄𝕇 really pretty floral white dress because I still had 2 of them that weren't getting any attention. So now that this one sold, I feel regretful that I didn't pick up the dress. Okay, this is another item that I pulled and I didn't get to delist it in enough time, and it sold, which is actually not a bad thing. I'm happy that I was able to get it out the door. However, it didn't sell for much. Again, this is one of those items that I picked up because I'm like, oh, it's plus size, it's pretty, somebody would love this. And Crown & Ivy is really just not a good brand to be, you know, picking up unless you can like factor stack like crazy. Now I feel like if this piece was linen, then I think it would have added a little bit more value to it, and I probably could have sold it for about $20. But Crown & Ivy just doesn't go for that much, so I was happy that this one even sold and had some type of, you know, attention to it. So this one sold for $12.71. I did pay 99 cents for it, and I made a profit of $10.54 after fees and cost of goods. And if you are curious as to why I would much rather delist my items than to drop the price on them and sell them, it is simply because I don't want to waste my poly mailers, I don't want to waste my labels, and I don't want to waste my time, you know, shipping it out to make a profit of $3 or $4. Like, no thanks. This is also another piece that I pulled. The brand is called 41 Hawthorne, and I believe it's a Stitch Fix brand. This was a extra large, so I feel like it hit that factor, and then it was silk as well, so I feel like it aligned perfectly. But I had noticed that it was not getting any attention, and I'll be honest with you, clearly I am at fault, because as somebody that has been doing this for 3 years full-time now, I should know better. I should know better, and that's why I am much more on it when it comes to picking up items. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I do fall victim to just picking up stuff because I really need to get my listings. But stuff like this is not really worth much time. So, you know, I'll just be mindful of that next summer to just pick accordingly. But this one sold for $16.99. I did pay $1.04 for it, and I made a profit of $13.96 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the last thing to sell on eBay were these Theory wool pants. I've had these for a very long time. I mean, at the very least, the beginning of the year. And I just have been waiting and waiting and waiting. I think I eventually dropped the price because I did have them listed pretty high, like around $40 to $50, which is insane. Not all Theory warrants that. And yeah, so that was my fault. but I eventually dropped the price on it. I manually drop all of the prices. I don't really do what other sellers are doing. I just relist when it's been up for a month, and then I will lower the price on it if I notice that it doesn't get that much attention. But if it, you know, is an item that I know that it can still sell for the original price, I would just drop it by a penny. And that's what I do to refresh my listings when they are close to expiring. But this one sold for $29.94. That just lets me know I have relisted this multiple times. But I did pay $1.10 for it, and I made a profit of $27.28 after fees and cost of goods. All right, so the first thing to sell on Poshmark was this really pretty maid top. I literally just sourced this last week, so this was a really fast turnaround, which we absolutely love. And I was really happy with this one, just because I had noticed that these were in somebody's like throwback pile. It's a specific area in the bins where I noticed that a lot of, you know, people are throwing back items, and I love to go there kind of like last before I leave the actual store, because I know I'll find some goodies. But anyways, this one sold for $22. I did pay $1.42 for it, and I made a profit of $16.18 after fees and cost of goods. This is a really pretty parachute linen top. Also recently sourced this. I was pretty disappointed with the price point that it was actually going for, but you know, I went on and priced it accordingly, just because it is linen and we are coming out of you know, linen season. So I was happy to accept their offer of $25, and I did pay $1.30 for it, and I made a profit of $18.70 after fees and cost of goods. This is actually a pair of Democracy jeans. I did source these at the bins, and I decided to lock them up mainly because they don't have that absolution technology like, you know, they typically do. So I knew that I was not going to be getting that much for them if I listed them separately. So I put them together and I priced them at a pretty good sweet spot of $38. Typically when I price things at $38, I'm trying to get $30 for it. So they actually sent me an offer of $30, and of course I accepted it, because I'm like, that is exactly what I wanted for this. So Democracy is the brand that I have been vetting, and I've been picking it up when it warrants a pickup, which means it is a flare, it's a wide leg boot cut style. I don't pick up any of their skinnies unless it has something else going for it. And like I said, these both did not have the absolution technology. What am I doing? So I decided to go ahead and just put them together to get a quicker sale. But, ooh, there's a lot going on. So I can't wait to have everything all together. Like, because I don't have any of the boxes that I typically have, which is my fault, because I just need to go to my storage unit and just bring some here, leave it in my closet. But anywho, oh, they're in Lancaster, California. I actually used to live there when I was in high school. I moved from Louisiana, and I moved to Lancaster, California. It's crazy. Anyways, this one sold for $30. I did pay $2.42 for them collectively, and then I did make a profit of $21.58 after fees and cost of goods, which is not that great, but when they're bundled, it's okay, you know. But anyways, so this one is a Draper James sweater. I also, you know, got this one and I pulled it from my inventory. Draper James is definitely not a brand that I would recommend picking up unless it has some things going for it outside of the name. But I picked this one up, and it was a cashmere blend if I'm not mistaken, but it was actually missing the belt, and it does have wear to it. So just with that alone, I was just so over it, and I think it must have been relisted, so it got some fresh eyes to it, and somebody sent me a $15 offer and I accepted it. I'm hoping that it doesn't, you know, get returned, but if it does, hopefully I can just say throw it in the trash, because I don't even want it anymore. What am I doing? So yeah, definitely not on my radar. Even at the bins, y'all, like, it's gotta have something going for it, because I even noticed a new attached piece that's plus size still will not sell. So definitely be leery of the brand. All right, this is a men's cricket polo shirt. I was so excited to find this until I found a big old hole near the hem. So I'm just like, oh man. So I noticed that it gets so much attention on eBay, but of course nobody liked it or anything just because of that flaw. Nobody wants to purchase something with a hole in it. So I think I had it priced at $25. I was trying to get $20 for it just because it was towards the hem. Somebody sent me a $15 offer. I was like, hell yeah. And I accepted it, so we love that. I did pay $1.46 for it at the outlet, and I did make a profit of $10.54 after fees and costs of goods. And I was able to find it, oh, well, I keep searching for a bag, it's right here. But I was able to find it again at the bins, and that one is not flawed, so happy about that. Menswear items tend to sell a little bit quicker when I price it correctly. They know exactly when to get it. So like I was saying before my camera just cut off, this is a new to me brand called 𝕊𝕊𝕆𝕊𝕆. It is a swimwear brand if I'm not mistaken. I just looked into it just because I thought this was a really cute top, and the fact that the label looked worth looking into. So I grabbed it and I did price it a little high. I feel like I didn't get really good at my pricing until since I lived in my apartment, which is about 4 months. Before that, I was pricing it pretty high, but I still was also looking at like Poshmark comps, but I wasn't taking into account how quickly I want the items to actually sell, and just kind of, you know, get that fast flip. Anyways, this was sold for $32, and like I said, I've had this for a good 6 or so months now, so I was happy to get it out the door, especially because it is a swimsuit top, and well, I guess a bathing suit top. But yeah, this was sold for $32. I did pay $1.14 for it, and I made a profit of $24.46 after fees and cost of goods. This is a women's 𝕊𝕽𝕇 top. This is one of those brands where if I find it at the bins and it's in good condition, I pick it up. However, that is about to come to a stop just because this brand is just not it anymore for me. Not everything sells well, and I find myself you know, always selling it for under $15, but this one I was actually happy about because it sold for $20. And I guess I just need to be mindful that what I'm picking up. Shorts are generally going to sell for much less. Tank tops are going to sell for much less, but since this was a sweater and it was in excellent condition, I do think that was the reason why it sold for $20 and not, you know, 15 or 12. It's not gonna fit in there. But yeah, definitely one of those brands that I used to love picking up. It was just like a given, oh, I'm gonna pick it up. But anyways, like I said, it sold for $20. I did pay $1.15 for it, and I made a profit of $14.85 after fees and cost of goods. This is a pair of marine layer joggers. I used to love picking up this brand, and I'll be honest with y'all, still love picking it up at the Goodwill Outlet. I definitely wouldn't pay for this at a regular thrift store because I feel like I heard another YouTuber talk about how this brand is either at TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something like that, and we all know the pipeline. So once, you know, you see items inside of any of those discount stores, they're going to an early grade. So I try to be very, very, very mindful. This was in excellent condition, and it's a pair of joggers, and we're actually going into, you know, the season, so it works out perfectly. But this one, I received a $20 offer. I think I had them listed at $32, and since I wanted to get them out the door quicker, I went on and accepted it. Typically, you know, I probably would have countered at $25, but I was okay with it. Because I felt like, oh, this is a pretty quick flip. I think I only had it listed for a week, so I love a quick flip. But this one sold for $20. I did pay $141 for it, and I made a profit of $14.59 after fees and cost of goods. These are a pair of men's Travis Matthew shorts. This brand is just so disappointing, and yet I still won't stop picking it up. I think this is it though. I'm done after this. So I picked these up because they were in excellent condition, and the fact that they were a size 34 and they were a grid style. They have multiple likers on Poshmark. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll get at the very least about $20 for these. I received a low ball of like $10. Of course, I declined. They countered, and then I countered. They countered again, and then I countered. And then at that point, they, you know, vanished. So a week passes by. They come back with an additional $1. So I went on and accepted it of $14, just because, you know, other potential buyers do get the notification that somebody has sent an offer, and none of them had any urgency to try to claim the item. So at that point I realized, okay, these are a pair of shorts. It's golfing shorts at that, and we are moving out of the season, so it's good to go ahead and get rid of these pieces. So like I said, I accepted his $14 offer. I did pay $1.05 for it, and I made a profit of $10 after fees and cost of goods. This one is also a disappointing sale. However, I went on and accepted her 50% off offer just because I wanted to go ahead and get it out the door. This is an 𝕊𝕃𝕊𝕃 brand. It's called Eloise. This is such a cute little dainty romper, but I picked this up literally last year in the summer, and I do think I may have priced it too high. So when I noticed that it was relisted, sometimes I'll do that when I'm on Poshmark, when my bot typically refreshes my page. If I see an item on there that I noticed that I clearly priced it too high, I'll go ahead and drop the price. But anyways, this one was sitting at $28, and it had like 5 watchers on it. Somebody sent me a $14 offer. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to counter, just because I'm like, girl, why are you playing in my face? Clearly, I'm not going to accept no $14 offer. It's 50% off. But I realized, I said, girl, you have this for a year. Let it go. So I let it go. And this was also in the I'm selling to a buy, sell, trade pile. So at least I made, you know, almost $10 on it versus me making maybe $2 on it. But yeah, so this one sold for $14. I did pay $1.24 for it, and I made a profit of $9.81 after fees and cost of goods. This is probably the most exciting sale of this video. The brand is called Lisa Todd. This thing is like an open knit color block hooded sweater, and it is 100% cashmere. So I did price this up, but not that high. I probably could have waited and got my actual listing price on it, because I think I priced it at $65. But they sent me an offer of, wow. They sent me an offer of $48, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. So I went on and accepted that. I wish this was my size, because I may have tried to keep this. For some reason, I want to try out cashmere, because I've never owned any cashmere pieces, but they are incredibly soft, so I feel like I deserve one. So this go around, I definitely will be trying to source me one, like a cute little hooded, you know, sweater or something like that. I don't know. I think I want it as like a hoodie more than I want it as a sweater, because crew neck sweaters just don't look good on me. But anyways, this one sold for $48. I did find it at the Goodwill Outlet, which I thought was crazy because it was no flaws on it. So I'm like, who the hell got rid of this? But anyways, I did pay $1.32 for it, and I made a profit of $37.08 after fees and cost of goods. This is a J. Jill, I want to say this is linen, and it's a brown, cute little knit cardigan. This one was a 1X. I have noticed that the size 1X and even extra large are sizes that don't really perform that well for me. I have noticed that the size large is probably the most, you know, purchased size in my closets across all of my platforms. Than any other size. I know most people probably will say plus size, but size large is mine. So I noticed that because the tote that has all the size larges, it typically depletes faster than the other sizes. So I love coming across a size large, because I'm just like, I know for a fact this is going to do well. But yeah, this was a cardigan. I definitely had this one for a while, definitely over 6 months. J. Jill, again, is one of my bread and butters. I have become so picky with it. I had slowed down at one point from picking it up, but now I still pick it up if it warrants a pickup. and not just because it's J. Jill and it's a bread and butter. It has to have something else going for it. For some reason, I thought this one would have sold a lot quicker than it did, but it didn't. So again, 6 months ago, I think my pricing was also off, so I can't even fault the size. I really think it was probably the pricing. But anyways, this one sold for $22. I did pay $1.10 for it, and I made a profit of $16.50 after fees and cost of goods. All right, moving on to Mercari. This is a Billabong's mini dress. This is new with tags, and it's a size large. So at the time when I picked this up, I'm like, oh yeah, this is definitely gonna do great. It's new with tags, it's a mini dress, and it's a size large. I was like, oh, I already know for a fact I'm about to make some bread. Y'all, this one sat so long. And what's so crazy about it is the fact that you're gonna get attention on it. And I think that pisses me off more than the item not getting any attention. The fact that multiple people, over 10 people, have liked this item on Mercari. I sent out an $18 offer. Nobody accepted it. And I think I initially had it listed at $32, which is still a little too high, but I was trying to get about $25 for it. And that was the reason why I priced it at that price point. So like I said, I sent out that $18 offer and nobody accepted it. This particular person came back, I want to say after it expired, and they sent me a $24 offer. And I was like, oh, you were so sweet. Because she could have been like, hey, could you send me an $18 offer again? But she did 24. So I'm like, you are amazing. And there's no fees on Mercari, which we love. So this one sold for $24. I did pay 91 cents for it. So I made a profit of $23.09 after fees and cost of goods. All right, and then the last thing to sell on Mercari was this figs set. I've recognized now, because I just sold the other piece yesterday, that I definitely listed this a little bit low. Of course, I price my items across all platforms differently. So when I priced it on Mercari, I priced it at $48 because I knew somebody was going to send me a $36 offer. And I was content with $36 because there's no fees on it. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, I definitely should have priced this at like $68. So I could have at the very least got about $50 for it. It's just that figs, brand new, doesn't sell for a lot. And then this one was a petite size, so it's like I have to be mindful of that as well, and that was the reason why I didn't price it that high. But I know moving forward, if I come across this particular style again, I definitely will price it up just a little bit. I'm pretty happy with the other items selling for the price point. I think the other top that I got sold for $21, which is exactly the amount that I want to sell it for. Because like I told y'all, the item brand new literally only sells for about $38. So getting $21, and that's just what I'm getting. That's not what they are paying in taxes and fees and all of that. So just got to be mindful of all of that. And then also, y'all notice that they are completely strict on dropping off the packages to USPS. I will be honest with y'all, I think I might have been the one that made them feel like, oh no, we can't do this no more. Because I used to drop off my FedEx packages and UPS packages that got the SurePost scanner on it, because they always scanned it. So I guess they're just fed up, so they're like, no. So yeah, definitely have to separate that because I don't want it to get mixed in with the other ones, because I got to go to a different location. Anyways, this one sold for $36. I did pay $3.16 collectively for them together at the Goodwill Outlet, and I made a profit of $32.84 after fees and cost of goods. So it's about $16 a piece, which I feel like I could have did a little bit better on. This is also a set. Now this is actually from Depop, so these are Depop sales, and this one is a set. What's so crazy is that I picked up the dress first, and like I told y'all before, when I'm outsourcing and I pick up something that the brand is not going to help sell it, I literally sit there and say, okay, what can I put as keywords to sell this item? And I'm like, okay, I definitely can sell this. And then I was so happy when I came across this one. And then I thought, I'm like, wait, I don't think anybody is going to wear these together, even though it's a set. So I said, let me just go ahead and get it, and then I could just list it separately. But something told me, girl, just put them together. And the fact that this was plus size, so this is a size 2X, and it is a vintage piece. It's got that sheer, dark romantic vibe to it. So I was pretty excited about it. And the fact that it got so much attention on Depop. Like, it got a shit ton of attention over there. And I received so many offers. And this particular person sent me a $40 offer. That was a price point that I had already had in mind. Let me know if I undersold this, because I look at other people's like vintage pieces, and they sell for a lot more, but some of them don't tell us how long it's been listed. So for me to just source this last week and for it to sell this week, I think, you know, I prefer that than to sit on it for 6 to 8 months to get somebody to spend an extra $30 on it. So I went on and let this one go. And like I said, this one sold for $40, and I did pay $2.84 collectively at the outlet. So I made a profit of $35.14 after fees and cost of goods. All right, and then the last thing to sell on Depop is actually this vintage skirt. I have been having a little bit of luck selling the maxi broomstick skirts. So every time I see them, and like I told y'all before, I'm able to figure out how I plan on marketing it, I'll go ahead and pick it up. So I knew alone this one just had too many factors going for it for me to leave this one behind. It did have a flaw, unfortunately, but I felt like that definitely wasn't gonna deter somebody from purchasing it. This one also got a lot of attention on Depop. These are typically the pieces that I pick up with the idea that they're gonna, you know, most likely sell on Depop. I know a lot of people tell you to list pretty much everything on Depop because the buyers are everywhere, and I don't disagree with them. However, for me, I personally just like to curate my Depop closet. Probably need to come up with a bio on there. But yeah, so this one did well. Again, I probably could have got more. So when I tell y'all how much it sold for, don't be saying nothing. But I have noticed that this is the price point that all of my skirts typically sell for, which is between $20 to $30. So I definitely try to stay in that realm because I do want them to actually sell and get out the door. But this one sold for $28. They sent me an offer, and I was actually shocked that they purchased it as soon as I accepted the offer. So I'm just like, ooh, love that. I really want to get in the habit of messaging them after they have purchased it, or not purchased it, but after they have sent the offer and I accepted it, just so I can like let them know, like, hey, you know, I went on and accepted the offer, please go ahead and purchase it so I can get this out. I used to do that, and then I just kind of stopped. But yeah, anyway, so this one sold for $28. I did pay $1.54 for it. And if you guys don't know, Depop has also moved to the no fees on their platform. They used to take 10%, which it felt like it was a little bit more than that, but they typically used to take 10%. Now they take 0%, but they do charge for the transaction fee. So the transaction fee is really, really small. So anyways, after fees and cost of goods, I did make a profit of $25.63 after fees and cost of goods. So yeah, y'all, that was it. Honestly, this was a pretty good weekend for the most part. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and let me know how your sales have been going so far since August has started. But yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Bye.